Hi and welcome back to part 2 of the mission state save scenario. I've been trying to think of the best way to explain this, and I think I found it, so here goes. There are 2 new trigger conditions that came with the release, and they are absolute time more and absolute time less. Now, those of you who are familiar with mission building, even in its very basic format, you'll know that there's a time more than trigger. And that time more trigger is based upon the start time of the mission. So if your start time is set to 0800 hours and you want something to happen 10 seconds later, it's time more 10 seconds, and I've said flag 1 on. Doesn't matter about the action in this particular instance. Now with save state, obviously you can build missions over a number of days. So absolute time starts at midnight, because that's the start of a new day. The same for absolute time less than. So here I wanted flag 1 on after 10 seconds with the mission starting at 0800 hours. Here I can utilize absolute time more than as 28810 flag 1 on, which is exactly the same. 10 seconds after 0800 hours, that flag would be turned on. Absolute time less than, I'll run through how I use it and explain it as best I possibly can. So I hope that's clear. Absolute time more than, based on a starting point of midnight, so that's the start of the new day. Time more is based on time more since mission start time, and say it was 0800 hours. And that's the easiest way I can explain it. I hope that makes sense. So based on the information that I've just provided to you, absolute time more than or time more than work perfectly for anything that you're going to put into the map or blow up on the map, or whatever you're going to do with something that can appear on the map, vehicle-wise, unit-wise. Now then, there are times in my missions when I want to provide a brief to the pilot in the cockpit before they start the mission. And what I've done is I've put in that briefing. So I've said time more than 7 seconds, there'll be a message goes out, and there'll be several pictures that will be appearing on the screen. Now let's see what happens when I use time more than, and then I save the mission. So let's do that now. Here we are on the mission. The first mission that I created, which should have the vehicle spawn, which it just did. And now I'm getting the briefing text and the briefing images. What I'll do when that's completed is I will save the mission. And then we'll see what happens in the saved version. Okay, that's done. Press escape. We'll quit. We'll save the mission. We'll save that as the D version. Click OK. Mission editor. I'm going to open the D version, which is there. Click OK. But I'm just going to go ahead and fly it. So we'll click start. And we'll press fly. As we can see, everything happened exactly as it did the previous time. But what I want to happen is that these images and that briefing text are not shown. So how do I do that? Let's quit. Let's open the original version of the mission, which was test save. Click OK. Go to the triggers. So that was the original trigger time more than for the group activate fire truck. I will probably change that to absolute time more than and set it to 28810. 0805, which is exactly 5 seconds after 0800 hours. Now then, for the briefing, this is what I do. And I've only come across this because I've been playing with the actual save state. What I do is I put absolute time more than 28807, which means it's 7 seconds after 0800, and an absolute time less than 28808. And then I put in message briefing to all pictures that will appear on screen. Now the briefing is what I don't want to show in the saved version of the mission, which is why I've set it up with these absolute time more and less conditions. So let me show you that working. And click fly. So let's have a look. 5 seconds in, fire truck should spawn in. There she goes. And then it should start driving. Here's my briefing text and images. They're appearing on the screen. And as soon as that's finished, I will save the mission. Let's press escape. I'll quit and I'll save at the debrief screen. So save mission. I'll call that save F. Click OK. Go to the mission editor. File open. Save F. Click OK. I'm not going to touch this at all. I'm not going to do anything. You can do if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to fly straight away. And let's press fly. As you can see, the fire truck got to its waypoint, so it's in there. And we're just waiting for the briefing to appear, which shouldn't appear. There we go, we have it. In the saved version of the mission, the briefing didn't appear. So that's one little trick to bear in mind for the new process. Well, I hope you found that useful. And I hope you found it interesting. Oh, and as a side issue and a point to note, my mosquito campaign has now been released. So if that's something that interests you, then by all means give it a crack. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Take care now.